I was quite young, my family is originally from Guyana, and, when I was quite young, my mom sent me to live, with my, relatives when I was about 8. Um, things were challenging here in Toronto, and she was working a lot as a nurse, and, I had siblings, and things were complicated for our family. One sibling in university, 2 in high school, and my mother thought, I needed a little bit of, stability, so she sent me back home to her family. And during that time, I was heartbroken. I missed my home. I missed my mother, who I was so close to,
Mm.
missed my siblings. And during that time, I actually developed a disease called osteomyelitis. And it was a bone infection in my right leg. It happened like really all of a sudden, like out of the blue. Out of the blue, I lost the ability to walk,
Wow.
and I was living with my mom's older sister, an extraordinary woman, and she took me immediately to the hospital, and they said, "We can't help her. We don't know what's wrong with her, but her fever is so high, she could die. Our suggestion is that she go to the nearest uh, hospital that has greater facilities than us," and that was in Trinidad. So on a
Sure.
private plane, they flew me to Trinidad. Right? Canada was too far because it looked like I was going to die. I got to Trinidad. They diagnosed me immediately with osteomyelitis in the right knee, but they say it's gone too far. Gangrene is going to set in. We have to amputate her leg or she's going to die. At
Wow.
this point, my mom's on a plane. She's gotten to Trinidad. She is a nurse, and she says no. They say, all we can
Mm.
do for your daughter, if we can't amputate her leg, is we can give her a blood transfusion. But she's going to die.
Mm.
If she does not get an amputation, gangrene is going to spread. She's going to become septic. I mean, it was horrifying. My mother went to the Canadian embassy. She said, I am a nurse. I need your support. I'm a Canadian citizen. I don't want my daughter to die here. If she's going to die, she's going to die in our country.
Mm.
I know she can live if she gets the help that she needs. I understand what's wrong with her. And so, a massive leap of faith. She was a person of great spirit, a believer of a deeper being in all of us and connection to God. And I remember being on the flight. I remember being on the Air Canada flight and having hallucinations. We were sitting stretched out at the back, get to Pearson Airport in Toronto. There's
Mm.
an ambulance waiting on the tarmac,
Mm.
go straight to Sick Kids Hospital, where one of the most renowned orthopedic surgeons is waiting, uh, Dr. Robert Salter, and he's the one that, with his team, saved my life and saved my leg. 7
Wow.
surgeries later. And the reason I bring this up in relationship to your first question about, how did I know? I was changed during
Mm.
that process. I learned to pray during that process. I mean, like a lot of kids, I was taught to say my prayers at night. But
Mm.
I knew that I was on the brink of death. And right before I went into surgery, I closed my eyes and I laid my hands on my stomach and
Mm.
I said, Dear God, please, please preserve my life.
Mm.
Please help my mother. Please help me become strong. I didn't say, Can I please help me to walk? I just said, Please help me to become strong.
Mm.
And I cannot tell you, after I stopped speaking, the sun came up and I knew not when, but I knew in my bones that I was going to live and that I was going to walk and I was going to run.
Mm.
And I spent 3 months at Sick Kids Hospital. I had 7 surgeries. I had rehab for a year. And, I was running track by grade 5 and
Ah.
never looked back. And it just it was one of those moments that, embodied this connection between being part of something greater and something happening inside of your body,
Hmm.
and then it was enabled by this brilliant medical team, and of course, I came from a human being, my mom, who was a person of faith,
Mm.
belief, and I inherited that from her, and then I knew how to pray, and I didn't know what the outcome would be, but I knew that I would be well.